Have you ever stopped to think that the reality you hate, the repetitive problems, the opportunities that never come, the relationships that always seem to end the same way, might be created by you? And no, it's not punishment, bad luck, or destiny. It's pure physics. Nikola Tesla said that if we wanted to understand the universe, we should think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And guess what? Your life is a direct reflection of the frequency you emit every day. The problem is that no one wants to take responsibility. It's easier to blame the government, the economy, your boss, or even the weather than to admit that our thoughts and emotions shape reality. But at the same time, this is the most liberating news you can hear. Because if you created the life you live today, then you can also recreate something completely new, more aligned with abundance, gratitude, and prosperity. Imagine for a moment that, by changing your vibration now, previously invisible doors begin to open. Imagine if, by adjusting the energy you emit, circumstances shifted in your favor, almost like magic, but without anything supernatural, simply by consciously applying the law of attraction. If this sounds tempting, get ready, because in the next few minutes you'll discover how to change your frequency, and with it, change your destiny. Many people spend their lives believing that what happens is fate, or simply bad luck. But Nikola Tesla once said that everything in the universe is governed by vibration, energy, and frequency, and that includes your life. Your thoughts and emotions aren't just internal sensations. They shape, brick by brick, the reality you live in. It's as if every idea you hold is an invisible architect, building bridges or erecting walls. The curious thing is that, even without realizing it, you're already designing your future at this very moment. Imagine that each emotion is a signal you send to the universe, like a radio station. If you're tuned in to self-sabotage, scarcity, or limitations, guess what? You'll only pick up on news that reinforces this. The opposite is also true. When you connect with abundance and gratitude, you begin to notice doors opening where before you only saw walls. It's like tuning the antenna and suddenly hearing the right song. The problem is that many people insist on leaving the frequency on a low note. And here's the most fascinating point. You don't need a stroke of luck to change. You just need to understand that your consciousness is the center of creation. The law of attraction isn't stage magic. It's physics applied to life. When you align with the energy of prosperity and self-confidence, small changes begin to emerge, sometimes so naturally that they seem like coincidence. But as we'll see, nothing is coincidence when you understand the invisible connection between what you feel and what the universe responds to. Nikola Tesla argued that if we wanted to understand the universe, we should think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And this is precisely what connects what you feel to what you experience. Every thought and every emotion works like a radio broadcast. You send out a signal, and the universe responds in kind. It doesn't matter if that signal is of abundance or scarcity. It will be returned with the same intensity. This is why certain people seem to always attract the same types of situations, good or bad. Think of it this way. When someone wakes up already complaining about the day, grumbling about the traffic, the rain, or the bills, this energy creates a magnetic field that attracts more reasons to complain. The opposite is also true. Those who start the day with gratitude and self-confidence, noticing even small victories, open a channel for more opportunities. It's as if their emotions are a secret code that the universe understands perfectly and decodes flawlessly. A simple example, have you ever remembered someone you hadn't seen in years and they texted you the same day? This is vibration in action. Consciousness sends a signal, and through invisible mechanisms, reality adjusts to respond. When you understand this process, it becomes impossible to believe in chance alone. But this is where the biggest challenge arises. Controlling the signals you send, especially when negative emotions try to dominate the game. Negative emotions act like an inverted magnet, pulling in exactly what you don't want. Anger, fear, frustration, and insecurity have a dense frequency that contaminates the energy around you, creating a vicious cycle that's difficult to break. It's as if your consciousness is stuck on a radio station that only plays sad, repetitive songs. And as long as the tuning doesn't change, the law of attraction will continue to bring experiences that reinforce this feeling of scarcity and limitation. You see, when someone spends days harboring thoughts of injustice and resentment, the body responds with tension, mood plummets, and opportunities seem to evaporate. It's nearly impossible to attract prosperity when your vibration is anchored in negativity. Tesla would have understood this clearly. Dense energy attracts dense energy without exception. It's like planting cactus seeds and expecting to harvest roses. It simply doesn't work. But here's the tricky part. Often, people don't even realize they're trapped because they've become accustomed to living in this state. Self-sabotage becomes automatic, and consciousness interprets feeling this way as normal. But, as we'll see, everything you see on the outside is just a vibrational mirror of what's happening inside. And this mirror never lies. Life is a perfect mirror. It doesn't show what you want, but what you truly are inside. Every situation, person, and circumstance that crosses your path reflects your current vibration. It's as if the universe were a projector and your consciousness the film playing. If within you are thoughts of prosperity, gratitude, and self-confidence, the projection will be of abundance. But if the plot is made of scarcity, fear, and limitations, the screen of reality will show exactly that, without cuts or censorship. Nikola Tesla would have understood this as a simple law of energy. What you put out is what you get back, period. That's why trying to change only what's out there almost never works. Changing jobs, moving cities, or changing partners might bring temporary relief. But if the vibrational frequency doesn't change, the film the projector plays will remain the same. It's the famous phrase, "Wherever you go, there you are." Want practical proof? Look at your life today. Look at your relationships, your finances, your health. All of this is a faithful reflection of your prevailing beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. What scares many people is realizing that to change the scenario, they need to change their internal script. And as we'll see in the next point, there are clear signs that your vibration is creating an unwanted reality. There are times when life feels like a perpetual Groundhog Day. The same problems recur, the same difficult people appear, and opportunities seem to vanish. This isn't bad luck, it's harmony. When your vibration is out of alignment with prosperity and abundance, clear signs emerge, such as a lack of motivation, constant fatigue, and a persistent feeling that nothing is flowing. This is the universe returning exactly the energy and frequency you've been emitting. An example, that person who constantly complains about their lack of money and even when they get a raise, always finds an unexpected expense that leaves them back at zero. Or someone who changes relationships but finds in their new partner the same attitudes they criticized in their previous one. These patterns are no coincidence, but direct results of the unconscious creation of their own reality. It's the law of attraction working on autopilot. The most dangerous thing is that the more a person focuses on these problems, the more fuel they give them to stay alive. It's like watering a plant you don't want to grow, but continuing to do so every day. However, there's a powerful detail. Frequency can be changed in the present moment. And when that happens, the transformation begins immediately, as we'll see below. The truth is that you don't need to wait for life to get better to change your vibration. Quite the opposite. Changing your vibration is what makes life better. Frequency can be adjusted in seconds, and it doesn't require complex rituals or weeks of preparation. Small daily actions, like listening to music that evokes positive emotions, doing deep breathing exercises, or simply being grateful for something in the present moment, can already elevate your energy. It's pure physics applied to everyday life. Tesla would understand this as the instantaneous reconfiguration of an electrical circuit. Change the current, and the entire system adjusts. When you consciously decide to shift from scarcity to abundance, the entire field around you responds. Reading a good, inspiring book, taking a walk outdoors, meditating, or even tidying up your living space are simple triggers that elevate consciousness. Each act is like a click that repositions the antenna of your reality. The curious thing is that, at first, these actions seem too small to have any impact. But as you repeat them, they create a new vibrational pattern that attracts different experiences, lighter, more aligned, and more prosperous. And this new mental and emotional state makes room for an even more profound step, replacing, once and for all, the toxic mental patterns that keep your vibration stuck in the past. Many people live trapped in inherited mental programming, phrases they heard in childhood, beliefs about money, love, or success that have never been questioned. These patterns, when fueled by thoughts of scarcity and negative emotions, become like silent viruses that sabotage the conscious creation of reality. To change them, one must first identify them, and this requires paying full attention to what repeats in the mind. It's like reviewing old software and replacing the faulty lines of code. Tesla would certainly compare this to fine-tuning a machine. If the system receives incorrect instructions, no matter how powerful it is, the end result will always be compromised. A powerful technique is conscious substitution. Whenever a limiting thought arises, such as, "I can't do it," or "this is too difficult," replace it with affirmations aligned with abundance and self-confidence, such as, "I have the resources to learn," or "I can find creative solutions." This reprogramming instantly shifts the frequency. Another practice is to surround yourself with positive stimuli, inspiring books, people who expand your worldview, environments that transmit positive energy. It's impossible to raise your vibration if your brain is immersed in constant negativity. When the mind adapts to new patterns, the heart and actions begin to move in the same direction. And it's precisely this alignment that we'll explore next. Many people believe that simply thinking positively is enough for the law of attraction to work. But without emotional coherence and an aligned attitude, the emitted frequency doesn't sustain the desired creation. It's like trying to turn on a light bulb with disconnected wires. The energy doesn't flow. For manifestation to happen, mind, heart, and action must vibrate in unison, sending a clear and consistent signal to the universe. Tesla would see this as a complete circuit. Thought is the current, emotion is the voltage, and action is the grounding that closes the system. If any of these parts fail, the energy flow is interrupted. For example, there's no point in declaring, "I am prosperous," while your heart is filled with fear and your daily actions reinforce scarcity. You need to feel abundance as if it were already real and act in a way that's consistent with that reality, even before you see it manifest. A practical exercise is to imagine yourself experiencing your desired outcome and then take a physical step toward it. Want to improve your finances? In addition to visualizing and feeling gratitude, organize your accounts, invest time in learning about financial literacy, and create new sources of income. When mind, emotion, and action align, the universe understands you're ready and responds. And to transform this alignment at the exact moment it happens, there's a powerful technique we'll look at now. When energy plummets and negative emotions begin to take over, it's crucial to have a practical tool to turn things around. A simple and powerful method is the 3-3-3. First, stop for 3 minutes and breathe deeply, focusing only on the air coming in and going out. Then, think of 3 things you're grateful for, letting that emotion fill your body. Finally, take 3 small physical steps that symbolize positive action. It could be tidying up something, sending a positive message, or even taking a glass of water with presence. Tesla understood this exercise as the instant recalibration of an energy field. By breathing, you clear the circuit. By feeling gratitude, you raise the frequency. By taking action, you establish the new pattern in reality. This combination prevents consciousness from continuing to emit signals of scarcity, fear, or self-sabotage, replacing them with energy of abundance and self-confidence. It's like rebooting a system that was frozen, but without losing important files. The most fascinating thing is that the more you practice, the faster your brain and body recognize the command to change. Over time, reversing negativity becomes almost automatic. And it's precisely this ability of adjusting your vibration in the present moment that allows you to recreate your reality consciously and lastingly. What many people don't realize is that changing your life doesn't require waiting for the right moment. The moment is now. Every thought, every emotion, and every action is sending signals that shape your reality. The law of attraction never rests, and your inner power is active all the time, whether you use it consciously or not. So why not take control of your vibration and deliberately choose what you want to attract? Tesla would understand this as taking control of a machine that had always operated on autopilot. When you begin to consciously choose the frequency you will emit, transformation ceases to be a distant dream and becomes a daily, tangible, and real process. This doesn't mean that problems will never arise again, but rather that you will have tools to avoid getting lost in them, keeping your energy and consciousness aligned with abundance and prosperity. This is an invitation for you to stop reacting to life and start creating it. Abandon the role of spectator and assume the role of architect of your own existence. For when you understand how your vibration shapes destiny, you realize there are no limits to manifestation. And the next step is to take the leap of faith to rewrite your own story. Now that you understand how vibration, energy, and frequency shape your reality, tell me, will you continue to feed scarcity and negativity, or will you consciously choose to create a life of abundance and prosperity? How many opportunities have you missed because you were trapped in limiting thoughts and emotions that only dragged you down? What if, starting today, you started acting as the conscious architect of your own destiny? What would you do differently tomorrow to align your consciousness, your heart, and your actions with what you truly desire to manifest? Are you willing to free yourself from limitations and self-sabotage, or would you rather continue watching life as a spectator? Remember, every moment is a chance to transform energy and create something new. The universe is always responding to what you emit, and now you know it. So, if you want to continue learning how to change your vibration and use the law of attraction in a practical way, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. Here, you'll find more tools, exercises, and knowledge that can accelerate your transformation. After all, the question remains, will you wait, or will you start creating the reality you deserve today?